Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. Epicurus. So, this is what I want to talk about today. That line between focusing on what we don't have and aiming for something, and then also being grateful for what we have. It's really confusing. That's what I'm going to talk about in today's episode. So, as we approach best year yet, I do a lot of planning. I'm already starting to plan next year, planning out what's going to happen when. In fact, I'm a bit late doing this, but there we go. And it gets me thinking about thinking big, dreaming big, thinking about where I want to go, what things I want to achieve, and dreaming big, really thinking out the box and thinking of things that feel really far-fetched and crazy. And I like doing that personally because it pushes me out of my comfort zone. And even if I don't head towards those big dreams completely, it sets me on a journey towards them. So, for example, writing the book for a long time has been such a big, big goal that I put out there, and it's about to happen. Now, for a while, I didn't know whether it would happen, and I was okay with it not happening because by setting the goal to write a book, I went on the most amazing adventure and I started learning about writing books and I started meeting people that write books and I started to do courses and I started to write and things started to make sense in my life. And I thought, even if this book doesn't come out, I've gone on the most incredible journey ever. And so this is why I like to have dreams and to think up um, bigger challenges that I can face. And the key for me is not depending on them absolutely happening and more using them as a guide towards pushing myself out of my comfort zone and seeing where they take me. And that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in this whole journey is to not get so fixated on something absolutely happening. And so when you let go of that, also, if I work towards the book, is it going to be a waste of time? Nothing is a waste of time in my eyes because I paid for courses and I could have been in the mindset of, oh, if I pay for this course and don't do the book, it's going to be a waste. Nothing's wasted because I've learned so much and I will get the book out there. So it definitely wasn't a waste. But even if I didn't get the book out there, everything that I decide to do, I believe, is adding towards the bigger picture. And sometimes we look at something right now and think, is this going to repay me right now? So if this course that I take, am I going to benefit right now in this moment? And the answer is sometimes we might be doing a course right now that is going to be so helpful for us in 12 months time when we come to make a decision and we go, oh, it was because of that course or that conversation, or it's because I took part in that exhibition that didn't feel right at the time and I didn't see any outcome at the time, but 12 months later it brings you something. When we look at the bigger picture of life, it's incredible because all the dots and all the interactions that we're having now will amount to something in the bigger picture. And so going back to this quote of do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for, is this sense of gratitude as well. And I talk about keep your feet on the ground and aim for the stars. And this is kind of what I'm talking about here from that phrase, keep your feet on the ground, aim for the stars, aiming for the stars, aiming for the book, aiming for bigger salary, aiming for bigger things, more time off, more holidays. It doesn't have to be materialistic things either, more freedom, more time to read. These things that just seem impossible right now because everything's so heavy and life's so crazy. And then also just on the flip side of that is really being grateful for the things that we have. So I resonate with this quote because I've just moved house recently and I am in a stage of wanting the house to be done. I want this house to be fixed. There's loads of issues. There's toilets leaking. there's a garage half converted that needs sorting, the kitchen needs ripping out, the taps are leaking. Like, there's a never ending list of things that need to be done inside this house that I've moved into. And a lot of me at the moment is thinking about, I just want to fast forward, I just want to get this done. And actually, when I read this quote today, it reminded me of this: don't spoil what you have, because there's a difference, isn't there? So when we think about dreaming big, that's to guide us, that's to open up doors of opportunity. When we kind of are in a mindset of wanting things because I'm not happy right now, this is the difference. It's a subtle way of thinking about things, a nuance that has such a big difference in the way we put this out in the world. So if I'm now angry with this house and I just want this house to be done, and I'm like, oh, this house, thoughts have crossed my mind. Why did I move in this house? Why did I choose this house? But actually, oh my gosh, why did I choose this house? When I get back to that and I think about where I was 3 years ago, there was no way I could have bought this house by myself. And 3 years ago, me would have been like, what are you complaining about? It's just a leaky toilet. Enjoy it. Oh my gosh. Like, I was looking at terrible, terrible places to live years ago when I became a single parent. And now I'm in this house, and yes, there's things wrong with it. But don't spoil what you have now, because remember, these are things that I hoped for. And I love this quote because it does ground me again to remember that things might not be right as I imagined. Things might not be completely perfect, because they never are. But this is what previous me 3 years ago dreamt of. With the leaky toilet, I didn't care. To have your own house, Michelle, and to have a house and put a roof over the kid's head is what I dreamt of, and I have it. And so I'm sharing this in case you need to hear this today, in terms of dreaming big, great. And it gets confusing sometimes with this hoping for something in the future and spoiling what we have now. And there's that difference, because what we have now is incredible. Every single one of us, we are where we are right now on this planet, in this earth. We have the money that we have now. We have the place where we are right now. It's what we have, and it's right now. And there might not be a tomorrow. That's why I always remind myself, there might not be a tomorrow. And so, yeah, okay, things are all right. Things are okay. I'm not going to spoil the now. So I wanted to share that with you in case you've been feeling the same. And I'll be back next week for some more Motivational Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.